Hey, family and friends. Welcome back to the Motherhood and Mindfulness podcast. It is me, April, your host, and I'm so excited that you guys are joining me in today's podcast episode because we are going to be talking about the feeling of anxiety. This energy that sneaks up on you out of nowhere, that feeling like you're carrying something heavy in your chest, or that little voice that whispers, "You're not enough, you can't do it," over and over and over again. Let's be honest, anxiety shows up at the worst times, doesn't it? When we're trying to rest, to create, or to show up for our kids or our partners, it's like our minds forget how to turn off. Today, I want to talk about ways that I've learned to move through these emotions, literally and emotionally. I call it dancing through anxiety. And don't worry, you don't need to be a dancer and you don't need a stage. This isn't about perfection, choreography, or performance. It's about finding your rhythm, your release, and your own way of moving through the tension in your body and your mind. This episode is an invitation to connect back to your body, to breathe again, and to remember that you can move through what feels heavy, even when your mind says you cannot. Anxiety could look and feel different for everyone. For some, it's a racing mind that won't quiet down. For others, it's fatigue, irritability, restlessness, or physical tension. For me, it's a mix. My chest starts to tighten, my thoughts start spinning like I'm chasing a clock that never stops, and I feel this pressure to fix everything right away. One of the hardest parts is that anxiety can make you feel like you have to hide it, especially if you're a mom, a creator, or someone who people look to for strength. You might tell yourself, "I don't have time to fall apart," or "I'm supposed to have it together, I'm supposed to keep it together." But here's the truth. Anxiety doesn't mean you're weak. It means your body and mind are asking for attention. When I started to name it instead of hiding it, saying, "Okay, I feel anxious right now, and that's okay," something shifted. The simple acknowledgement of it took the power away from the spiral, because anxiety isn't our enemy, it's a signal, a message from our body and our mind saying, "Hey, something inside needs to move, to release, or needs to be seen." And once I began to see it that way, I stopped trying to fight it and started asking, "What do you need from me right now?" Or what do I need from myself right now? And that's where the dancing comes in. Now, don't picture a perfect, graceful performance. Think of it as your own personal therapy session. No rules, no steps, no judgment, just movement as medicine. Movement becomes a conversation with your anxiety. You're not fighting it, you're inviting it to move through you. You might feel silly at first. I definitely did. I remember one morning feeling overwhelmed and tense. I just turned on some music and started moving around my kitchen. My son started laughing at me and dancing with me. The dishes were clanking, and there I was, letting my body shake off everything I'd been holding on to. It was not graceful by any means, but it was very healing for me. Here's what I do sometimes. I'll put on a song, something with energy or something that matches my mood, close my eyes, and just start letting my body lead the way. Sometimes it's a big expressive movement. Other times it's slow and soft, like a gentle sway. And by the end of it, even though my thoughts haven't magically disappeared, I will feel lighter, calmer, and more present. That's the power of movement. Your body becomes the doorway back to peace. You might not be able to control your thoughts, but you can guide your body, and your body, in return, helps guide your mind home again. Dancing through anxiety isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional too. Our bodies hold everything we don't say out loud: the stress, the grief, the frustration, the things we keep bottled up because we don't want to be a burden to anyone. When we move, we're giving those emotions a safe exit. I remember one evening when I was feeling completely overwhelmed. My mind was racing and I could not breathe deeply without feeling like I might cry. Turned off the lights, played one of my favorite songs, and just started moving. Halfway through, I started to cry, and not from sadness, but from release. By the end, I found myself laughing, realizing how tightly I'd hold everything in. It was like a weight was lifting off of my shoulders, not because the problems were gone, but because I finally gave myself permission to feel again. And that's what I want you to remember. Your anxiety isn't a flaw or a failure. It's an emotion asking to move through you. You can make space for it, express it, and release it in a way that feels authentic to you. Healing isn't quiet. Sometimes it looks like crying, spinning, laughing, shaking, or even breathing deeply for the first time all day. So here's a little practice you can try this week. Find a song that moves you. It could be upbeat, emotional, or peaceful. Stand somewhere you feel comfortable, your living room, your porch, even your bathroom if that's your sanctuary. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you want to and start moving however your body feels. You don't need to look good, okay? You don't need to know how to do it or what to do. Just let your body do the talking. Maybe you start with a little shoulder shrug and then your hips start swaying and then your hands start shaking and your head starts, banging or whatever. Laugh if you want to, cry if you need to, let whatever wants to come up. After a few minutes, stop and notice what shifted, what softened. Even if the anxiety didn't vanish, can you feel more space in your own body now? If you can make this a ritual once a day or even once a week, even 5 minutes of movement can shift your energy, reconnect you with your breath, and remind you that you are not stuck. You're simply learning how to move through what you've been holding on to. So, with all that being said, I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me today. Remember, anxiety is not a trap, it's a signal. And you have tools, creativity, and your own body to guide you through it. The next time you feel the waves coming on, instead of pushing it down, try this. Pause, breathe, and move a little bit. Let it out. Let it pass through you. You are stronger, softer, and more in tune with yourself than you think. Next week, we'll be diving into feeling your feelings again, exploring how to reconnect with emotions you might have been avoiding, and why that's such an important part of the healing process and trusting yourself again. Until then, keep on moving, keep feeling, and keep giving yourself grace. You deserve it, and you got this. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.